Hello again. We're back here in sunny Canberra at the Manica Oval. We've got England v Pakistan coming up in a few hours. First up though, we're just going to do a little bit of a recap of the two matches that happened yesterday. We watched the first one in a lovely lakeside bar here in Canberra, and that was New Zealand against India. And in the end, it was a little bit disappointing for New Zealand, but great for India because they're now the first team who are through to the semi-finals, thus potentially proving my prediction correct that they will win the tournament, Sid.
I think that actually India didn't play terribly well, but they say one of the old football adages that I love is that a really good team is one that wins when it's not playing well, and India did that yesterday. You were also kind of impressed with Amelia Kerr yesterday, Raf.
Yeah, I mean, I thought to some extent it was disappointing for New Zealand. They bowled well, and they should really have kind of been able to chase that total down. But they did to some extent revert to type. They have had a few problems with their batting over the last few years. But what Amelia Kerr did so well was she didn't give up. It was a really brave batting performance, coming in at a time when there was a bit of a collapse on, and it did look like a very kind of unreachable total at that point. But she got them, within a few runs of it. And I thought that was really exciting, and she's definitely the future of New Zealand cricket. So I think that will be a bright spot that they will take away from this campaign. And then obviously New Zealand aren't out of it yet. They'll be coming up and playing Australia in their final group match, and that's going to be a really exciting one. Talking of Australia, they were also playing yesterday. They were here in action in Canberra, and they played Bangladesh, and it was a pretty convincing win, wasn't it, Sid?
I think Australia did what they needed to do. They've given their net run rate a good boost. I think most importantly, Alyssa Healy got a really good innings, a really good knock. There's been there's no question that they were going to drop her or anything, but she has been a little bit out of form. But it definitely came back with a bang yesterday.
Yeah, she didn't get the 100, but she played in exactly the way that was right for her team, which was to not mess around, take a few risks, and really impressive performance by Australia, fairly clinical. And the other thing that was really great was to see such a big crowd here at the Manica Oval. So I think they said they had 5,600 in the end, which is a brilliant crowd in context of kind of traditional women's cricket crowds in Australia, I guess. And then before the England match today, there is going to be another match being played here, and that's going to be South Africa against Thailand. Should be fairly straightforward for South Africa, we think.
Yeah, it should be a routine win for South Africa. I think Thailand they've provided people with a bit of entertainment, but at the end of the day, we've seen that they've been very much outclassed, really. And I think we'll probably see that against South Africa today.
Yeah. Okay, and then obviously the big one, as far as England's concerned, against Pakistan. It is now the big one. We were all thinking that potentially that match against the West Indies on Sunday could be the tricky game, but now that Pakistan have beaten the Windies, it does feel like Pakistan are the ones that England really need to beat if they're going to progress to the semi-finals.
Yeah, definitely. We're back to first of all, if England lose any of their matches, then they're going to be dependent upon other results. But another factor is if they lost this one, they might end up potentially dependent upon head-to-head results with Pakistan, which obviously, if they lost this one, would not be looking good either. And I don't think England should underestimate Pakistan. England just played 6 matches against Pakistan. They were also in Australia. Those matches were played in Australia.
I don't think they were, Sid.
Yeah, they were. They were played in Kuala Lumpur. Koalas come from Australia, Raf.
I think that might be the worst joke you've ever made. So let's move swiftly on. Yes, you're right. That was a very convincing series win, 3-0 by England late last year, wasn't it? And I guess a couple of players in particular who will take confidence from memories of that series will be Amy Jones and Danny Wyatt, who are both having a little bit of a torrid time of it at the moment at the top of the order. I think there have been calls for both/either of them to be dropped and replaced by Tammy Beaumont, but both did well, got good scores against Pakistan, and will take some heart from that.
Yeah, absolutely. They'll both be, and I don't think that England will change their lineup, first of all, and I think this is a great opportunity for someone to actually do what Alyssa Healy did yesterday and find their form back. So hopefully they will.
Yeah, I mean, we've been sort of saying if England are going to change things around and bring in anybody different or change their strategy, then they're going to have to do it in this game rather than leaving it to the very back end of the group stages and potentially putting pressure on a couple of players, who haven't played much tournament cricket. So it feels like today is the last opportunity for them to make big changes, but we don't really think they will. We think that they're quite stubborn and they will stick with the route that they have chosen. Anyway, that's going to be an interesting match today. As you say, it probably is a must-win for England, and they'll certainly be wanting to win it. And so, fingers crossed for them.